In the age of AI, we have a small problem. We have to save some of our prompts, our contexts, and everything what we are building. Until now, I have been putting it in some files and some folder structures and so on, but it's getting kind of messy. You can't find anything when you search for it. And I didn't like that, so I built my own solution with Laravel Inertia Vue, which I will today show you. So first, the problem. The problem was that everything got kind of messy. So we had like several files for several prompts. I had to reuse the same prompt for different products because I'm basically making it specifically for my e-commerce company for descriptions like Amazon descriptions, Amazon titles, and this kind of stuff. So I have to reuse a lot of stuff. The products are similar but different. So I have extension cables. So I have maybe a different cable type, but the same plugs. The cable type has a little bit different features than the other one, and I have to reuse everything else, and I have to hunt down where something changes in the prompt. So this was the main idea why I created the app, because it got a little bit out of hand and I was more searching than writing actually. Okay, let's jump straight into the app. We have our dashboard, which is not filled with anything because I had no idea what to put in there, what makes actually sense, so I left it empty for now. The main core data which we have to put in is companies, products, and personas. Companies is simple. It's just a table where we can put in the company. You can open up a company view where you have the corresponding products and prompts. In products, it's almost the same thing, just a different form, and we don't have a view because it's not needed here. So same prompt, same form, and so on. Personas is a little bit more complex because the form is way longer. And if you don't want to fill it by hand, you can basically generate a persona specifically for this form by AI. What it actually does, this is the prompt. You can use this prompt to generate from CSV files with Amazon reviews, which you can get by Helium 10 or whatever tool you're using. With this prompt together, you can generate a persona in the right format, which you can upload here. It works kind of simple. I just already no. Okay, here. Dummy data. We can use this dummy data and it's fill out the form. So we don't have to fill it out ourselves. We just take the prompt, take some reviews from Helium 10, upload it, maybe change here and there stuff if we need something, and that's it. Now the prompt itself, it's based on a prompt template. The prompt template has variables. I will explain why in short. Variable is basically a key value pair. We have a key which is whatever we want, and a default value which we can change later, and tags, that's just for filtering. One of the most important parts is the context itself. The context is built from companies, products, and personas. So you can take here the company, the product, and the persona, and you can also choose the task, which we will need for one specific thing. You have to put in the name, otherwise it won't work. Now, if you press preview, you will get the information in a nice format, which is good for the LLM. So this is our context, and you can change stuff here. If you don't need something, for example, depending on the task, you might not need all this information, so it's better to remove it. If you don't want to remove it by hand, the reason why we chose this here is, again, we get a prompt. This prompt takes also the task and it details the LLM to remove all the stuff from the context and return the rest of the context that we need for this specific task. So it removes everything unnecessary. For example, if we do a Amazon title, we don't need to have the occupation or the communication preferences and stuff like that. This might be needed for something else, but for this, not. We have the contexts. And now we have the prompts. If we create a prompt, for example, again, for our Amazon title, and you have here like whatever contexts with whatever name, if you press on preview, it will generate from this context and template a task, but it will change the variables. So if we go here and set and see here what variables we have, like here tone, neutral, because there are this double curly braces around the key. That's very important. You have to put in the key here. If you put in the key here and create your prompt here from the same thing, I just closed it. Then you see this will be exchanged for whatever you write here. You could also change it into passive aggressive, for example, and say 150. and take preview, and then we have 150 characters and passive aggressive tone, meaning I can do as many variables as I want, and I can use them here within the task, and they will be every time exchanged. Is useful if you have a lot of similar products or similar stuff that you want to use, or you want to use the same prompt and easily change some variables every time. All right, let's jump straight into code. Let's go and see my models. The most important part is the relation between the models, actually. For example, in our company, we do have for our products, our contacts, and our personas, so we can always get the relations in every database. It's very easy to get them if we define it like that. The next is, I would say, the variable service. It changes all the variables. So that what we have shown here, these variables, this is actually this part of the code. It first replaces every double curly brace, the key double curly brace, with the actual value. So it first builds a simple map with the key value pair, which is provided to the method. It trims everything and replaces it with a simple regular expression here. So this is the whole magic behind it. It's very simple. The nice thing is the way it is done here with this as one or more spaces or non-spaces. So if we go to the app and if we would do something like no spaces or a lot of spaces, it still would work. I can present it like here. So we had now a lot of spaces here. So we create now a new prompt with the Amazon title stuff. Let's choose in different contexts and make a preview, and it still changes and removes all those empty spaces. Now, the next interesting part is our prompt service. Our prompt service also regular expressions, cleaning the prompt, meaning if we are creating a lot of stuff and there are a lot of new lines and this kind of things, or empty tag blocks which we might not need, remove before we save it. That's the prompt service. And we have the CSV service creating the empty CSV, so you can download it if you want to do it by hand, and it is translating the first row and associating it with the data in the database. This is basically what it does. It also does some normalizing, reading the first row. It basically reads the CSV file, it removes and trims everything what is needed, everything we need to pre-fill our form. The form is actually working also kind of easy. Prompt controller, I suppose. We build the context and pass it via a prop. The most important part is happening in the backend, not in the front end. The front end is just consuming the data and getting everything by prop. That's why the connection between Laravel, Inertia, and Vue is great. I can just pass into the index everything like in a prompt index. It is just defined as a prop. So we have this here and this here. This is the same thing. And I don't have to do any strange Axios or fetch stuff on promise stuff and this kind of things. Although here and there I might use it. For example, if we are waiting and filling out the form, I think I used somewhere Axios, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's in the context create page. Posting to the prompt context, and Axios is basically waiting until the data is built and returned back. This is what happens actually here. So if we build here the context, this is not Inertia, this is Axios doing. We don't need this for now. This one, it is thinking and returning the data to the front end. So this also happens in the back end. The front end's just asking for the data and getting the promise resolved back the way it needs it to just consume it. It basically fills the form for us. Now, to showcase you that the app actually does what it's supposed to do, I have prepared some data. I prepared a company, product, and persona, and also a template. It creates Amazon bullet points. I created my own company and a product that I'm actually selling. This is the task it's supposed to do. It's just going to generate us 5 optimized Amazon bullet points for the product, the character amount and language as variables, so we can change them within the prompt. Now let us build the context. The context we will create new. The camping cable, just for now. So Amazon bullet points we take for this one, then we take the company in Mexico, exactly, the product camping, and the persona we created is Mr. Camping Christian. We preview it, and this is the actual context that we get. Now I could go there and try to optimize it and remove stuff I don't need. I don't want to do that right now. It's just a demo, so I'm going to save it. Now we have the new camping cable, Amazon bullet points. Now we go to prompts, create new prompt for bullet points and the context camping cable 25 meters, 3 times 2 5H07 RN-F. So this is actually the right product. When we press on preview, we get our context and we get our task with some system information. So now let's generate and save it. Now it's in the database. So I could go there, copy it, and then open a ChatGPT and just paste it in there. Wait a second. And there you go. 5 bullet points as we wanted to have it. And the nice thing about the whole process is it's working quite easy. I can exchange stuff, I can change stuff, I can say, for example, fast that I want to have more characters, less characters, I can reuse this prompts, can reuse this context, so the whole thing is working as it's supposed to do, and I have everything under control, where is what, it's easy to find, it's sortable, it's filterable. It's exactly as I wanted to have it, way better than having to search for file somewhere in some folder structure. All right, folks, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. Next steps will be to connect it to actual LLMs and to my N8N workflows that I'm building so that the app does more than just saving data. I will also record some videos if I do something interesting within the app. If it was interesting for you, subscribe, like, leave a comment if you have thoughts about the video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.